Nothing messes with your head quite like moving to a new country. You think you're ready. You've read a bit, packed smart, maybe even learned a few local phrases. But then the food, the habits, the unwritten rules, they start hitting you all at once. The Philippines didn't just surprise me. It rewired the way I see the world. What I thought was normal got flipped upside down. Simple things like greetings, eating, or even taking public transport suddenly felt like decoding a new reality. Some moments were hilarious. Others left me speechless, and a few I didn't fully understand until years later. Here are 10 culture shocks that caught me off guard, and if you've ever been to the Philippines, you'll probably recognize a few of them too. Whether you're thinking about visiting, moving, or you're just curious about life in the Philippines from an expat's perspective, this is what nobody tells you. Let's get into it. My first ride in the Philippines was pretty standard. A taxi from the airport, windows down, Manila traffic blasting past us in every direction. But it wasn't until I started exploring daily life that I discovered the real stars of Filipino transportation: jeepneys, tricycles, pedicabs, and habal-habal. And that's when the culture shock really hit. The jeepney is a Filipino icon, originally made from leftover U.S. military jeeps, now transformed into moving murals of chrome. Neon lights, religious slogans, and bold paint jobs. There's no ticket booth. You wave one down, jump in through the back, pass your fare through a chain of passengers, and yell, "Para po," when you want to get off. No signs, no route maps, just local knowledge, instinct, and a little faith. I didn't understand any of it at first. But it's cheap, it's lively, and it somehow works. Then you have the tricycle, a motorbike welded to a metal sidecar. Looks like a toy, but it can carry a family of 5, school bags, groceries, and sometimes a goat. As a tall foreigner, fitting inside one felt like a yoga pose gone wrong. But in most towns, this is your local Uber, just louder and slightly more dangerous. In quieter areas, you'll spot the tricycad, also called the pedicab. Basically, a bicycle with a sidecar, powered by human legs and grit. It's slow, silent, and feels like something from the 1960s, but still totally legit. The first time I rode one, I felt guilty watching the driver sweat in the sun while I sat like royalty. But these guys hustle hard, and for short distances, it's the smoothest ride in town. And then there's the habal-habal, a motorcycle taxi. No helmets, no license plates sometimes. Just you, the driver, and the open road, or mud track, depending on where you are. I've seen whole families on one habal-habal. It's like a balancing act from a circus. Legal? Not always. Thrilling? Absolutely. As a Westerner, all of this felt like madness at first. No schedules, no meters, no clear rules. But it's also resourceful, flexible, and totally Filipino. You don't need Google Maps. You just need a thumb, a smile, and sometimes a bit of courage. And over time, I realized every ride here is a story. Sometimes cramped, sometimes wild, but always unforgettable. Karaoke isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. In the West, karaoke is a Friday night novelty. Something you might do after a few drinks, maybe once a year, if you're brave enough. But in the Philippines, karaoke is life. And it's not just at bars. It's at birthday parties, town fiestas, baptisms, or honestly, just a random Tuesday. Someone sets up a speaker, grabs a mic, punches in a number on the magic sing, and boom, Madonna is back. And trust me, they sing with their whole heart, even if they have absolutely no idea what the lyrics mean. I learned this the hard way on Bantayan Island, where I rented my very first beach cottage. Cute little place, affordable, 2 houses back from the ocean breeze. What the owner didn't mention, that it was also 2 houses back from a karaoke machine. The first few nights were rough. My heart will go on, echoing through bamboo walls until 1 in the morning, followed by My Way of Frank Sinatra, and then Bed of Roses, butchered beyond recognition. I remember lying in bed thinking, is this real life, or am I in some tropical karaoke nightmare? But here's the crazy part. One night, I just stopped noticing. Somehow, my brain tuned it out. It became background noise, part of the soundtrack of island life. Karaoke in the Philippines isn't about talent. It's about joy, sharing, and a kind of fearless expression that's honestly inspiring. People don't care if they're off-key. They just sing. And when you see a grandmother belting out Whitney Houston under a mango tree, you realize maybe they figured something out we haven't. The food. Before moving to the Philippines, I pictured myself living the tropical dream. Fresh fish, colorful dishes, exotic fruits every day. But after a few months, reality hit my taste buds. Rice is everywhere. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Sometimes even with spaghetti. And the daily menu? Usually some kind of meat, fried, sweet, or swimming in oil. Most of the time, it felt like the food was either too bland or too sugary. Spices? Minimal. Variety? Hard to find outside of major cities. Back when I was living there, I usually cooked for myself or ate out at Western-style restaurants whenever I could. I had my go-to spots scattered across the country serving decent pasta, sandwiches, or something that resembled a salad. But when it came to local street food, I usually passed. Skewers that looked like science experiments and mystery meat floating in broth just weren't for me. That said, the Philippines does have some amazing dishes. I'll never forget the first time I tried lechon, that crispy roasted pork with skin that crackles like fireworks. Absolutely addictive. I also loved Bicol Express with its creamy coconut heat. And bulalo in Tagay, perfect on a rainy afternoon. And then there's crispy pata, deep-fried pork leg that looks dangerous. Because it is. Oh, and sisig with a cold tanduay and Coke? That's not just food. That's a lifestyle. Especially late at night. So yes, I had my favorites, but overall, the daily food experience wasn't easy. If you're a Westerner moving there, just know your relationship with Filipino food will be complicated. Some days you'll crave it. Other days, you'll cook pasta at home and dream of cheese. Yes doesn't always mean yes. One of the first things you notice in the Philippines is how friendly and polite people are. Smiles, greetings, helpful attitudes everywhere. You ask a question, you get a yes, almost every time. And at first you think, wow, this country is so cooperative. Everyone wants to help. But then, things don't happen. Plans fall through. Directions lead nowhere. And you realize something. In the Philippines, yes doesn't always mean yes. It can mean, yes, I heard you. Yes, I want to be polite. Yes, I don't want to embarrass you or myself. But does it mean, yes, I actually know the answer? Yes, I will do that now. Yes, this is correct? Not necessarily. I once asked for directions to a restaurant. The man smiled, nodded, pointed confidently, and sent me in the complete opposite direction. Why? Because saying, I don't know, felt rude. In Filipino culture, avoiding embarrassment, both yours and theirs, is more important than giving a direct answer. In the West, we're raised to believe clarity is kindness. In the Philippines, kindness is often about saving face, even if it means confusion later. So as a foreigner, you learn to read between the lines. A pause, a nervous laugh, a maybe said with a smile that really means, no, it's not dishonest. It's cultural. And once you understand it, you actually start to appreciate it. Because behind every yes is a person trying not to offend, not to disappoint, and not to make things awkward. Still, it takes a while to adjust. especially when your electrician says, "Yes, sir, I'll come tomorrow," and shows up a week later. Culture shock isn't just about strange food or transportation. It's about realizing that the way you've always done things isn't the only way. And honestly, that's the beauty of moving abroad. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What was your biggest shock when you first visited the Philippines or any country? Part 2 is coming soon. And trust me, there's still a lot more to talk about.